Hurricane, a tidal wave, essence perfect, life looks brilliant, gives me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're firing me, yeah, you're firing me, You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. Whoa, I can see, I can hear, going crazy by the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my hand.
Hey, welcome everybody to Honor Ramble on this Thursday night as we are here to talk all things Ring of Honor on the Our Local Establishment Podcast Network. I am Kyle Sparks, who is here, occasionally when my schedule and my mental health and God knows whatever else allows it. But joining me today, in lieu of the sick Auntie Collins, who we're wishing a speedy recovery to, is the magnificent Kimmy Sokol. Kimmy, how are you doing?
I'm great. It's pay-per-view week. We had our world champ on the Ring of Honor show. Tony Khan on the media call said that he attempts to book really good matches on Honor Club. Really don't know what Honor Club he's been watching. Clearly, we're watching something completely different. But welcome back, Kyle.
To be fair, there are good matches on Honor Club. It's just that several of them are from 15 or 20 years ago.
It also hasn't been anything Tony Khan booked. Like what we had, what did I tweet out? It was like 3 squash matches, 3 regular matches, 3 promos. Why was the magic number 3?
Well, wait, did he say booked or did he say put on?
Put on.
Because technically there has been some stuff that's been uploaded since he took over Ring of Honor. Like, I think this I am parsing all these words, every single one of them.
He did. There were 2 actually Ring of Honor questions. So one of them was from our lovely friend Sam, who was like, why is Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher happening here and not on the pay-per-view? In which he's like, I try to put good matches on Honor Club for all the fans. And I'm like, yeah, all 12 of us really, really want to see that match on a random Honor Club and not at a pay-per-view. And then Cresta from Fightful had asked if Ring of Honor could potentially be within the Forbidden Door. Last year, Athena wrestled on Forbidden Door. Billy Starks in the pre-show for the Owen Hart tournament. And look where they are a year later. They're both champs. Athena is apparently out for a year, but not out for a year. I don't really know. Hi, Astrid.
Hey, there's Astrid. We do love having Kimmy on OLE, so it's been great. I always love getting to work with you. So and yes, I absolutely I pitched on my Twitter at one point tonight a match for Forbidden Door. I'm not sure if you saw it or not. Well, we'll get to it a little bit. We had I'll give it a brief thing, or nah, you know what? We'll get to it when we get to it. It's not that deep into the show.
I mean, the show was only an hour 10 minutes. Let's be real.
Exactly.
Episode was only an hour 10.
We've got to have something to keep people watching because it's K2 ROH tonight. So
I love that. K squared ROH. Ed gets it.
Hey, you know what? Love it. Ed does get it. There we go. So I guess we should dive right in. So let's hop to it. I mean, this episode's still probably going to be, an hour and a half or 2 hours long because it's just what we do on this show, but that's okay. We're gonna do it. We did have another cold open this week after getting right into business last week. We had a cold open with another emergency mem, and I'm down with the minions. I'm down with the minion overlord, but do they continue to be emergencies if they happen every single week?
I mean, you're right. I was thinking that I was like, there can't be emergencies. They're also this one was not announced ahead of time. Last week's was.
Yes.
So I would give the pass this week compared to last week. To be fair.
Fair. And yes, at this point, I feel reasonably secure in saying that however bad Athena's injury actually is, it seems clear that it's now a bit, because she tells us that the incident with Red and Aminata, quote, tore my ligament all the way through, end quote.
And she's out.
And that now she's going to be out 8 to 12 months. 8 to 12 months now.
Minion math.
So
it just doubles. It's okay. It's minion math. Doesn't have to make sense.
No, it does not. Nevertheless, they have now brought in some private security because Athena does not feel safe at work anymore, and Lexi takes it upon herself to point out that these hussies. She struggled to get out the word hussies, whether she was laughing through it or what. But God, we were gonna get there. These hussies need to learn who really runs ROH, and both Athena and Billy said we need to get Lexi a championship.
Yeah, so I don't really know what they meant by that. I was like, are you just similar? Yes, minion math is like girl math, but minion math is a little more complex. The Despicable Me 4 movie I think comes out next week. Do you think Athena is going to be watching from the front row on opening night? These are the questions we need to be asking.
I just can't with the Despicable Me's. I got through. The first two were fine. The third one was a struggle. I'm done. I don't know if my kids will even want to watch it.
But did you see the Minion, when Gru was a child? Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see any of the spin-offs.
I like them. I think they're funny. Athena, I talked to Athena about this. The reason why Athena, wow, is Minions is because Despicable Me is one of her favorite movie franchises. So I'm really hoping, I want to ask her. I want to be so you going to see Despicable Me next week? Need a full movie review. Anyway, so I don't know what they meant by getting Lexi a championship. Is it going to be the graduation where they just gifted her valedictorian? They're going to give her a backstage correspondent championship, bestie championship type thing.
I really want something just obviously cardboard and whatever with sparkles and glitter on it, and just amp up the nonsense to 11 and just go with that.
I agree 100%. I also kind of like too that Athena kind of played into the Tony Khan, I don't feel safe at work anymore. I died. I don't know if I feel like I'm the only one that made that comparison, but I'm like, I see you. But yeah, I think Athena's a-okay. I think she's gonna be good for the pay-per-view. I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like the Ring of Honor episode right before, 2 weeks before. She's gonna like attack Aminata with like the crutch or something, like, ha, I played you. I was faking this.
Oh yeah, there's absolutely a crutch getting bent over somebody's back. That's happening.
But then I'm like, maybe we could do like an ODQ match. Maybe this leads to a stip at Death Before Dishonor. It also, I cannot see Athena not being on the cards in Texas. It's her freaking like hometown. She has to
That's
be
her
there.
Backyard. Yeah,
Exactly.
100%. I think this is Athena beating Aminata to retain. Because I don't think you take the title off her in Texas. But that said, once you beat Aminata, like, is Billy still endgame? Like,
I've always figured that. My thought process here was Anna Jay, who had such a very long, amazing, like she was getting a lot of wins. Like I was like, maybe they were building up Anna Jay. Clearly, she's in factionism 101 that they keep putting her in these pointless factions for no reason. So I don't know who beats Billy now. Maybe Red gets the job done. Maybe not at Death Before Dishonor. Maybe like I don't want to say final battle, but maybe like a honor club in between. I think Nyla's still, because throughout the whole feud with Athena, Nyla wanted to get her hands on Billy. She didn't get her hands on Billy. We haven't seen Nyla, so maybe that's in their back pocket. You know,
well,
Taya
to be fair,
Valkyrie.
Nyla turned herself into a chicken nugget, so
I
she
did
could be
see
out for
that.
a bit.
I did see that, and then I also saw her voodoo doll for Serpentico really did the job done, and he's hurt.
Except he says he's coming back though, so she's looking for something stronger.
But I don't know if you could get anything stronger than just like I saw the tweet, I was like, there's no way. Like, do you have a voodoo doll for me now? Again, the questions I need to ask.
I don't know, like if you wind up with like a little bit like missing hair or something or something from the next time you work with her, I don't know. Just be aware that
I will 100%. I might text her and be like, I'm innocent. I cheered her on at Dynamite last week when she was there. I tweeted out for her. I was like, oh my god, hope you're okay. But yeah, I think there's contenders. I just don't know how we get there. Diamante, we'll get to this later. Like Diamante and Layla Hirsch seem to be having a feud now for some unknown reason.
We're still building Marina Shafir too. She's another name that's that could be in that TV title mix.
But I don't know, like yes. Questions Kimmy must ask. I don't know, like I don't have anything against Marina, but I'm like, it's so boring.
I mean, we've done this with her before. I will agree, and
yes.
we can get to that in a little bit, I guess, if we, so as not to completely derail us right off the bat, but.
Listen, we had to talk. There were important things we had to talk about.
There were Nyla turning into a chicken nugget, and
and
all these things, and we need to. Hopefully Body Slam is going to keep up on that, because I know we reported on Nyla turning into a chicken nugget, and I know she's getting them garlic parm nugs. So hopefully we'll.
Ew, garlic parm. Gross.
You know what? This is not winning you points with Nyla at this point.
I know. I should just keep my head down from now on.
You really should. Either down or on a swivel on the lookout, or maybe both. I don't know. But there you go. See, Bobby Munson's on board. See, garlic parm sounds delightful.
No.
It's not always my first choice, but if I'm in the right mood, that can be good stuff.
Gross.
Anyway, after we get our emergency mem out of the way, I didn't recognize either of the two guys doing security off the top of my head. I'm assuming they're local guys from the area. So anybody in the chat who might be aware, or anybody watching in the comments after the fact, let us know. But I didn't recognize them. I could be wrong though. Oh, and there's an Auntie Collins sighting. There we go.
Yes, I did not recognize them either. But yes, hi Collins. Hope you're okay.
Yes, it's been a rough week or two for you. I hope you're continuing to rest and recover.
And she met Sting.
Yes, that too. So it's highs and lows. Highs and lows. High, she met Sting. Low, she's missing working with you. High, she's missing working with me.
That's a nice little peak and valley.
See what I did there? You see what I did there? Just sort of work that right in. It's great.
Yes, of course.
And absolutely,
No!
we don't like to hear this. This is not good. Are we sure that Nyla does not have some sort of a voodoo doll of Collins?
Again, where's my questions, Kimmy? Questions I need to ask.
Who else is in that voodoo that you do?
And also, where did she get that?
Valid question. Yes. Just to point that out, we do have a whole lot of viewers going live right now, which is awesome. If you are watching us on X, you can come on and join the conversation on YouTube. You can join the conversation on our Twitch, and you can check those things out. Yes, I also hope that you did not give Sting COVID. I have a number of pictures of myself at Warrior Wrestling the weekend of the first Forbidden Door. I had COVID and recovered from it. I'd had it, I believe, 2 to 3 weeks prior. I forget what it was. It was 2 or 3 weeks. It was long enough that technically you're testing negative, or you haven't tested for multiple weeks. At that point you're good to go. I was still wearing a full mask just to be safe, but
I love
very
that.
nice. I was still wearing a full mask just to be safe. So I have pictures of me with all sorts of wonderful people, including getting to meet Chris Hero, who is one of my favorites. But I'm rocking like the big mask. I'm like, well, that sucks. I got to meet Hero, which was awesome. I got him to autograph my ROH Best of Chris Hero DVD, which was good times there. But my adventures in Kyle being a mark, which is super, super fun. Love it. Highly recommended. 10 out of 10.
Highly recommend.
But and I'm still waiting for him to do one match, just one in ROH or AEW. Like, well, you're there. You've been working with West Coast. Like, come on.
We got that Jimmy Jacobs huge pyro thing for no reason. So if we could have that, right?
Come on, I really want that Chris Hero Young Knockout Kid music they used in ROH by Viro the Virus. Like, come on, give me that. Give me that one time. I will mark out I will mark out so hard. I will frankly embarrass myself in public. It will be wonderful. Oh gosh. So I tried to get us back on track like 5 minutes ago, and then we just went off into a tailspin again, because that's what we do on this show.
We ramble with honor.
Yes. Honestly, anybody against the Kings of Wrestling, and I am there for it. Like, yes.
Technically, the Kingdom did want a challenge.
As a one-off, Claudio's not doing anything. As a one-off for the Kingdom to knock off KOW, I would, yes, a million times yes.
I love that.
So we do eventually get to the ring for our first match of the night, as Alex Reynolds of Dark Order with Evil Uno takes on Big Shotty Lee Johnson in singles action. A perfectly solid little 8-9 minute match. Some good technical acumen, some fun high flying. A solid opener, all things considered.
I agree. This was a little more technical than I would have thought would come out of both of them. I've said now for at least a couple months, like, if they're not going to use the Dark Order on AEW, put them in Ring of Honor, like, give them trios tags, give them regular tags. Yes, only 20 minutes to get to the first match. I fit right in clearly. So yeah, I like seeing the Dark Order. And again, like I said, not using them, put them here. I don't know what we're doing with Lee Johnson. I feel like the end goal is still the TV title. because I don't understand why we're building him up if we're not leading there. I don't think he beats Mark. You know, I kind of fantasized who I think should beat Mark. I think it should be Dijak if he's going to come over, because I just think, you know, we talked about this former prospect tournament winner. There's history in this.
2015.
Yes.
He beat Will Ferrara in the finals in 2015.
Do I think this is going to happen? No, but we could fantasy book. So I don't know what we're doing with Johnson. I really thought he should have beat Kyle at Super Card of Honor. Obviously not you, Kyle Fletcher. So yeah, I don't know. Confused.
I would not last a fraction of that amount of time. I think I would take. I could take two, maybe 3 bumps, and then I'd be like, nope, I'm very done with this. I'm almost 42 years old.
It's like I'm leaving. See you next time.
Actually, no, that would have to. My birthday would have been a few days earlier, so yes, I would be 42 by that point. So, but yeah, like to me, Dark Order. I had this in my notes. Dark Order continues to exist in this weird nebulous zone where they're not really faces, but they're not really doing anything overtly heelish either. And either way, they're not really winning enough for anybody to care. Yes, bumps are when you stub our toes and turn too fast and pull a back muscle. Yes. It's for me, it's when I sleep on the wrong side and my neck hurts for 3 days.
Oh.
Because I am in great shape. But no, like Dark Order exists in this weird spot, and it doesn't seem super well defined, but they're not winning enough that you really care whether it's super well defined. They're just kind of going. At least when they were solidly babyface, they were like lovable losers and underdogs, and you wanted to root for the underdogs. But now that's like.
And where is John Silver?
Excellent question. Perhaps he got eaten by Satnam Singh after that 6-man tag.
Like I was like thinking about that. I'm like, where is he? Did he just like? Does Nyla have a voodoo doll for him?
Questions Kimmy must ask.
I think we're up to 5 in 25 minutes.
I feel like most of them involve the voodoo dolls, though.
Because I'm just so curious now. Aren't you?
That feels like something that I don't want to question, because I don't want to risk the wrath of the native beast.
Understandable, very understandable.
You know, that's just me. But and yeah, this was a solid match, a solid outing for Johnson, who continues to grow. He's a guy who absolutely in the golden age of Ring of Honor would have been a thing that they would have absolutely started building around. Not unlike the way they sort of built Jay Lethal slowly but surely. And, you know, he eventually became a top guy for them. But I agree that I don't think the world title is in his immediate future. I could see him taking the TV title. Maybe Final Battle. Maybe there. The problem is that you've already had him lose to Kyle on pay-per-view, and you've had him lose to Kyle in 2 out of 3 falls. So the justification for him earning another shot is starting to get very, very thin.
Well, unless Atlantis Jr. wins tomorrow and he challenges Atlantis.
That would be a really interesting play, and they've certainly done it with the TV title before. Kushida has won it. Will Ospreay won it for a couple of days before he dropped it back to Marty Scurll. Tomohiro Ishii won it off of Roderick Strong, I believe, before he dropped it to, I want to say, Bobby Fish. So like there's been history with the hey, look at there.
Hey, that's crazy.
People,
look,
thank you. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us.
Look at that.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. This is awesome. Join in the conversation on Twitch, on YouTube, at OLE Podcasts. We have a lot of fun here. So come drop in, enjoy the show with us. We usually go for longer than the actual ROH episode goes, which not uncommon at all.
No, of course not.
Anyway, Lee picks up the win here over Alex Reynolds. He lawn darts him into the corner and then hits the big shot drop. And didn't the lawn dart get used on him by Kyle a week or two ago?
I think so. Possibly.
I feel like I remember that. And I was instantly, that like triggered something in my brain, like instantly. It's like, oh, I'm not sure I've seen him do that before. Is he taking things from... Huh. That could be something to watch.
Yes. Like, I can't explain Ring of Honor booking anymore. I get asked by so many people, and I'm just like, I don't know. Stop asking. I'm just going to go cry in a corner.
Well, in olden days, the worst offense that Ring of Honor would have was waiting too long to pull the trigger on somebody.
Yes.
It happened with Tyler Black. It happened with Davey Richards. It happened with... you could argue that it happened with CM Punk. But
I think I was
but then again, the Summer of Punk turned out to be such a fantastic story that it's hard to argue that it was a misstep. But
and now it happens so often. The Summer of Punk.
Yes. But that used to be their biggest thing, where the entire fan base would be clamoring for it, and they'd go, he's ready, put it on him now. And nope, we're just gonna successfully defend again, and we're gonna putter along for another 2, 3, 4 months, and
I love that. Please.
There you go. My ROH is... No, I can't say that. My ROH is pretty much any ROH. Even the Tony Khan ROH, faults that it may have, it's still ROH. It's still the promotion that I love. It's still Ian and Caprice on the call. It's still Bobby Cruz in the ring. It's still Paul Turner.
We just smile through the pain.
It's true. Speaking of pain, in our next match, Marina Shafir was out again for another squash, this time over Erica Lee.
I give Ring of Honor credit. It took 15 minutes to get to the first squash match. It was some type of accomplishment for them. Very proud. Yeah, this happened. I don't know where we're going. They mentioned the TV title for Marina. They also mentioned the same thing when we get to Taya's match, that could be contender for it. Maybe we do a 4-way of like Billy, Taya, Aminata, and Marina. I wouldn't like that, but I feel like 4-corner survival. You'll like that one. Yeah.
Defy or deny.
Yeah. So yeah.
You can run Defy or Deny at Death Before Dishonor. Billy, either one of Layla or Diamante, Red Velvet, and Marina Shafir, somebody like that. Four-way match, elimination rules. If Billy wins, then the last person she eliminated is out. Will not get a TV title shot again as long as Billy is champion.
See, but we can't do that just because we only have so many people that could challenge Billy,
Yeah, but the TV title situation is one that is actually super, super deep. You could justify probably a dozen different women getting shots at Billy right now.
QCP, yes.
From Taya Valkyrie to Red Velvet to Nyla Rose to Marina Shafir to Diamante to
Mercedes.
on and on.
If
Exactly.
Mercedes decides to come back, I don't know where she's been. I think she's hurt.
No, 100%. Hell, 2 or 3 wins and you could put Trish Adora back in there. She's been in a rough spot recently, but you could put Trish back in there. Like, the point is, it's an interesting way to have a lot of different things come out of that and demonstrate the depth in your division. The other version of Defy or Deny is it's not technically a title match, but if the champion loses, then whomever actually is the last one standing gets a future title shot.
I think my other thing too, that's like we'll get to this with like Billy. My other problem with this title is like it doesn't mean anything because Billy hasn't really had a match yet. It's only been squashes. Have a problem with
Yes.
this.
Yes. But hopefully that will change. I'm struggling with it too. But that's okay. We're gonna get somewhere. I'm continuing to hold out faith.
You just gotta pray and smile through the pain.
Yeah, pray to the Booker man Tony Khan like Mike Bennett did, and because we're just about to get to that in a little bit, and we're gonna get there in a second. There is one moment out of this match that I did actually enjoy, and that was Erica sort of clutched onto Marina's right arm out of a clutch, and they rolled over to put Erica on top, and she just both arms just windmilling at her. And it was a little silly thing, but it's something that I really appreciated seeing because it just gave that moment of this person is fighting for her life. She is doing anything she can to survive. And in that moment, it felt less like a wrestling match, if that makes sense. And it just felt like, okay, this is a fight. This is what someone who is wildly overmatched would wind up having to do if they were stuck in this situation. They would just be like, I don't know. I'm just going to start swinging haymakers. And if one of them connects, maybe I'll have a prayer.
Maybe. I think the other sad part of this too is like when Marina was celebrating, the crowd had no reaction at all. They did not care. And then she's
No.
like yelling at the crowd to react. It was so sad. So the crowd's not even behind her. How am I supposed to get behind her if you people don't care about her? I don't get it.
All right, I'm looking it up right now just because I need to check these things because otherwise I don't trust my old man memory to. My usual technique, I get a lot of credit, and I'm thankful for the people who talk me up and say so about being an encyclopedia of this or that, and a whole lot of it is starting with, I think I remember this way, and then immediately going to research to remember whether or not I'm right.
And like
So far,
95% of the time you are.
I am, which is nice. Billy won the title off Queen Aminata in the tournament final at Supercard of Honor. She has wrestled 4 times on 4 times on Honor Club since that time. No title defenses, 4 proving ground matches. Dream Girl Ellie, 4 minutes. Zamaya, 3:29. Sandra Moon, 5 minutes. And tonight, Angelica Risk, which I'll get to that one later, but I had the time at 4:20. So.
Oh my god. No.
The longest singles match she has had in ROH since winning the title has been 5 minutes.
Do you people see the problem with that? Marina Shafir's not the problem. This is the problem.
That's good wordplay there. Well done.
Thank you. I try.
So yes, Shafir, she did drop a tiger feint kick in the corner, which was kind of a fun. Hadn't seen her do that before. It's like, oh, good on you! Look at you go. Then throws a judo throw, locks in Mother's Milk, the reverse sleeper, which is a really interesting choice for a finish, but we're gonna go there. Just under 2.5 minutes.
Yes, Tony Khan is the problem. I'll tell him that Sunday on the media call. Oh, media scrum. I'll be like, Anthony, listen to me. You are the reason this is not succeeding. I would never do that. I do have a Ring of Honor question for him. Let's hope he answers it in a very nice way.
Is it about how we've got a group of 4 or 5 of us that should just be allowed to take over Ring of Honor?
I should include that in my question. My question is that, with the Arlington residency, we've talked about this. They're having 2 sets of Ring of Honor tapings, like just solo Ring of Honor tapings, similar to what they did with the Universal tapings. So I want to know, like, is this going to be a new thing going forward? Is this a one-time thing? Are we doing trial and error here? So I want to know. That's my question Sunday.
Are you just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks at this point? And is that really something that's reassuring or good to hear after having owned ROH for probably going on close to 3 years now?
Has it really been 3 years?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I feel like it was.
No, I think it's 2 because we're only on episode 70 of Honor Club, and that was a year. Oh wait, no, yeah, wait, no, because it was a year after. It was a year to the
TV
day.
Came back later.
It was a year to the day he bought it, so that was a year, and so 2 years, going on 3 in 2025.
Let's see, the March of 2022 was the shot was the announcement. So it's been a little over 2.5 years.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
March 2nd, the day Ring of Honor died.
Well, you could argue that it was that whole thing is such a tricky situation because the Sinclair purchase was not what ROH truly needed. It was not well promoted by Sinclair. It widened the reach of ROH, yes, because it showed up on over-the-air channels in a variety of markets. Because Sinclair is in something like they own 180 stations in, I forget how many media markets they're in, but I think FCC regulations are a little bit tricky on that. So probably 100+ markets. But in any event, like the air times were usually terrible. They were not consistent. You couldn't just say, hey, there we go, a little history lesson. ROH start. I could go all the way back to 2002, but I don't think we need to do that. For about 10 years or so before Tony Khan bought it, ROH was owned by Sinclair Broadcast Group, an owner of roughly 180 news stations and TV stations in probably around 100 some odd markets. Don't quote me on that part, but a significant market distribution. Sinclair bought ROH presumably for fairly cheap original programming, and they essentially left it to each individual station to decide when they wanted to air it. At least that's my understanding. I could be wrong on this. I don't think I got to talk when I interviewed, when we got to, myself and one of my previous co-hosts, Kylie Fuller, got to interview Kimmy Sokol, and I don't think we got into that level of specificity on the Sinclair deal.
Oh, dang!
Oh, it's 100. It's 193 now. Ugh.
Over 100.
I worked for a Sinclair station back in the day. I did not enjoy the experience, but that's neither here nor there. Regardless, it was on at different air times in different markets and different stations. And that's something that is so difficult for a marketing team. You can't do anything with that. All you can say is check your local listings, and you can't leave that to people. Like, you just can't. You have to really lead the horse to water, and you have to put it right in their face. And it's at this time, and it's on this channel, and it's, and it would be like in my market, it was on in West Michigan. It was on at 11:30 on Saturday nights. So after the late news on Saturday night, it would air there.
I think in New York, I think it was on at 9 on Saturdays. I could be wrong. I remember like sometimes just flipping through the channels, and it would be like random Ring of Honor episodes, like from weeks before, just like they needed to fill the time.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh,
And
let's just put on Ring of Honor.
And it didn't do them any favors. I don't believe they ever actually did live television with Sinclair. Everything was taped. In many cases, it was taped weeks in advance. They went to a more consistent pay-per-view model with Sinclair, but there were constant problems. And I think Sinclair was just ready to be done with it. You never saw you saw a little bit of expenditure on the product, the overall look, the production value, but by and large, I don't think I should say that I'm clearly speculating. I'm just talking here at this point. I don't have any connections. I don't know this for a fact. But I get the impression that Sinclair did not like what they were getting for what they were paying. And I feel like by the time Tony Khan came around and was ready to put down an offer, they were more than happy to cut bait.
I think the other thing too, and like this is the argument a lot of people made, like Tony Khan.
I worked for a Sinclair station. I did not work for Sinclair proper. There's a gulf of difference there.
Major difference there. But the main reason like Tony Khan wanted Ring of Honor was more for the library, not just like the show itself, because the one thing that he wanted was All In, because the first All In was very heavily Ring of Honor influenced.
Yes, it was co-promoted by Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and they had the All In name, which is why when AEW started, it was All Out. It wasn't All In, and now, because Tony Khan owns it, now we have All In again. Crazy history lesson there, guys.
There we go. Hey, well, if you were going to have one.
That's right. You really, like, I learned so much from Kyle. Like, I just look at his tweets, like, during the Ring of Honor episode, and I'm like, look at all these things I didn't know.
It's because I was watching ROH when you were still in grade school.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yes, this was a squash. We got down quite a rabbit hole there. We go backstage, and to get back to the fact here is okay. Well, SCG 212, thank you for. I'm glad to be a little educational there and to help out. Backstage, Arcady is with the Undisputed Kingdom. Matt Taven cannot believe that Arcady is her actual name. Asks her, has her repeat it, what, 3 times, 4 times? Before finally going, that's not a real name. Your parents didn't name you. Why is everyone wasting my time?
And then he goes on this whole thing about how Ring of Honor is wasting their time because no one is a good enough challenger for the Kingdom. Then they go on. So now the best part of this whole segment is Mike Bennett goes down. First of all, says that he's not a religious person. Says he's going to pray to whatever God there is out there. Literally goes and says, Tony Khan, please give us a challenger. I'm praying with the blackness of my heart. I need a worthy challenger. And I'm just like, yes.
I also want to point out that while he's doing this, Taven is pointing out that Bennett praying on his knees is roughly the same height as Arcady.
Yes, that was the whole thing. This whole segment was praying and making fun of Arcady. But the interesting part is I believe it was Taven, and he was like, we want a team that's on our level. We want a team that can actually
strong
wrestle.
Like us. That's strong like us. That's athletic like us. And yes, handsome as us.
Which is why, I don't know if you guys saw Sean's report, but apparently MXM is looking to possibly do some Ring of Honor tapings. So I don't know if maybe that was a shot at them. Maybe that's what we're looking to do for Death Before Dishonor. I think it'd be really interesting if that is the choice we see to make. They did announce that next week they're wrestling Metalik and Commander, which I feel like is not the answer to Mike Bennett's prayer. But I'm wondering if this is the MXM call-out.
At least it's a proving ground with people that are on the roster.
Is Metalik signed?
I'm not sure. Technically, I'm not sure if Commander is actually signed either. They might both be on appearance deals, but they've at least been there consistently enough that you could have doubt.
I think Commander... Let me look.
You know what? I'm trying to have some thin ray of hope here of something actually improving.
Yes, Commander is signed. He's
Okay,
been signed since April of 2023.
there you go. Metalik, I don't believe has ever signed, put pen to paper, but he's probably on an appearance deal. But at least, again, it's somebody that's at least been on the roster and has been around. Okay,
Y-
so let's go with that.
Wasn't he on Final Battle 2 years ago?
Metalik
Metalik? Maybe? Or I think he was on
sounds
a
right.
he was on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, I feel like. I don't know which one it was, but I'm like 95% sure he was on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view under the Tony Khan umbrella.
It sounds right. I would have to. I'll look it up, but it sounds right. But here's one that came to me at one point as I was looking at this, because partially we're talking about how there's basically no ROH inclusion at Forbidden Door, despite the fact that
Oh, I was a
there you
year
go.
off. God
You
damn
were
it.
that. That's okay. That's okay. We still love you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Oh,
he was in Commander
that
was in.
multi-man. Yeah, that multi-man thing. I remember this
But
now.
yes, Metalik was on.
Oh no, he was.
Stu-
He wrestled Jeff Cobb
he
on
was
the
in,
Final Battle pre-show 2022.
he was also at Super Card of Honor 2023. He was part of the challenging team for the World Six-Man titles as Mogul Embassy took on AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik.
So see, he's like Ring of Honor, but not Ring of Honor.
Exactly. But no, as they're talking about wanting competition, and I'm complaining about that there's no ROH involvement in Forbidden Door, and Tony Khan is saying in the media call that he would love to have ROH involved. You book it. If you would love to have it, you can have it.
Like I said, Athena wrestled on the Forbidden Door 0 Hour last year in the opening match of the Owen. She wrestled Billy Starks.
But I've already got it for you. I've got you covered.
I'm
Here's
hyped.
my pit. Here's my pitch. Forbidden Door. Bennett and Taven, the Kingdom. Challenge TMDK.
I love it. Let's book
Mikey
it.
Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste.
Let's do it. Tony Khan.
We won't have them put the ROH tag titles on the line, but they'll be challenging for the New Japan Strong and IWGP tag team titles or something like that. Because I don't really want, something like that. There you go. There's Undisputed Kingdom versus TMDK. Sold. Like, and as far as the Maximum Male Models stuff goes, I said this on Twitter as well, and I think I might have responded to you as well. Like, I genuinely don't know if that was actually supposed to be a wink and a nod to something, or if that was just these two weirdos being themselves. Because that is absolutely a thing that they would say or do. Like,
oh yes,
just in
I 100%
general.
agree. I like to think that possibly maybe we're trying to build a storyline of some sorts. I mean, that's the only thing I can kind of see MXM doing. I think if they do come into Ring of Honor, they'll be together. I don't think they're like going to do 2 singles runs. Now that Dijak is available, what if? Not a DB. Well, is Dijak technically like? Can he show up whenever now? Tomorrow or at midnight technically?
I believe so. I think his contract just lapsed. I think the way, if I remember the report, it was that he was told his contract would not be renewed. So that as of whatever on June 28th or whatever it is, that he would be a free agent and could show up anywhere.
So hear me out, DBD. If you don't want to do Dijak versus Mark Briscoe, 6-man titles. But oh my god, Bang Bang Gang. I couldn't remember their name. I can't remember their name because they're never on Ring of Honor. So you do the 3 of them versus Dijak, Mace, and Mansoor. The Retribution versus the Bang Bang Gang and have them win the trios titles. Let's do it.
I was in a weird way, I was kind of glad to see the ROH 6-man titles go, and get folded into the AEW ones just because I never liked that division in ROH for the most part. And outside of a couple of teams, I never felt like it worked. And now you're just going to suck me right back into the 6-man division. Like I was ready to have a clean break and be done. And you're just pulling it back in.
I mean, again, it's probably not going to happen. I would also rather see that, like, if they are going to do that, I'd rather that be on AEW pay-per-view, to be honest. But like I said, I don't like the talks are with Ring of Honor, so I'm just again, the Bang Bang Gang don't even show up on Ring of Honor. Let's not.
Yeah, it's true. Although I'm pretty sure I saw that they did wind up doing a match at a recent taping. I want to say it was at the taping in Pennsylvania just this past week. I want to say that they actually did a match.
No, is it because Kate was there? Kate got Mark Briscoe. Kate got Wheeler. Kate got them. I think she's the magic touch for them booking Ring of Honor correctly.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure why we need to continue to do this because it's clear that Kate's got the touch. Like I feel like I can just safely retire, and there you go.
This is the part you clip. OLE Entertainment. This part. You're welcome.
Yeah, the part where one of your co-hosts admits defeat and wonders why the show should continue is absolutely the one that you clip to make sure that everybody watches. Hope you got that, Bobby.
Well, it might entice people to tune in next week. You got to keep them wondering, Kyle.
I see. Is that how it's going to work? Well, we're at 53 minutes. The show only ran an hour 7, so yep, this is right on schedule for us.
Aren't we halfway through the show though?
We're about to go into match 3.
See, look, we're retaining a large audience. See?
Well,
we got 154.
Love it. Thank you all for being here. So yes, next week, because we announced a match for next week, which is also nice to see. Undisputed Kingdom versus Metalik and Commander in a proving ground match. Whatever, sure. I don't think the Undisputed Kingdom is going to win, but whatever, sure. I still feel like the end game is Infantry take the titles. I would like to see it at Death Before Dishonor, but Death Before Dishonor is 4 weeks from tomorrow. Yes, 4. I saw your picture with the nails earlier, and they are it is uncomfortably close to the Chicago Bears colors. And as a Green Bay Packers fan, I cannot abide by this.
Okay, but to be fair, right? These are the Mets colors. These are the Islanders colors, and I got them for Forbidden Door because whoever made the Forbidden Door color scheme.
I know that
just
the blue is not dark enough to be the Bears, and the orange is it's probably still about right, but the blue is not deep enough to be the Bears. But that's just immediately where my mind went. I know that's not what you were going for, but I can't be helped.
I'm sorry. Just think in 2 weeks when I get them done again, it'll probably be red because I'm working with McFoley 2 days later, so it'll be red. Don't worry.
There you go.
I don't follow hockey, so I don't know. I'm not like everyone on Staten Island that claims they're a Rangers fan, and then like when the playoffs happen, everyone's a Rangers fan. And then everyone's like, oh my god, the Rangers don't know how to play hockey. Yeah, because you don't watch during the season. You only watch when it counts, you bandwagoners. Can't do this.
Match 3. Trios action in a squash where Lance Archer and the Righteous take on Duke Davis, who was a very large human being. I was very surprised by his Gannon Jones and the Savage Gentleman Victor Benjamin.
It's like, I don't understand what this is leading to. Like, are they gonna challenge for the 6-man titles? I don't know where. No one knows where Jake Roberts is. I say this every week on this show specifically. Jake Roberts is MIA. Like, what the hell?
No idea. I don't feel like we've explored quite enough why Lance Archer is with the Righteous right now. Because his whole rage monster motif does not really fit with the Righteous's vibe. At least not to me. Because don't get me wrong, the Righteous can absolutely get into some viciousness. And they're very, very good at it. But it's done in a more controlled form. As opposed to Lance Archer's just unhinged. It's a precision strike versus a cannonball shot, essentially, is the difference between their violence.
And the other thing
You're just dead either way, but one is much louder than the other one.
But the other thing too is like on on Super Card of Honor, Lance Archer teamed with 2 other people. He teamed with Alex Zane.
Yeah, we got Monster Sauce back together, which was great. I would love more Alex Zane in my life. That'd be fantastic. But yes.
I don't understand.
This actually went almost 6 minutes, and I have no idea why.
Yes, this is a little too long. Like, I understand we had 3 squash matches. This was one that needed to be 2 minutes.
I don't like. I want good things for Lance Archer because I watched him be a monster in New Japan. I watched him be an amazing IWGP US champion. Like, he can be doing big things as a singles guy for you. And the Righteous can and should be tag team champions yesterday.
Agreed.
I still think, and I'm still going to say this, I think they should have beaten MJF way back at All In.
Agreed. 100% agreed. All Out, you mean. But yes, agreed. Oh, no. Wrestle Dream.
Was it Wrestle Dream?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's right. It was when all those kind of ran together for me.
Because All In is when they beat Aussie. Then All Out is when Adam was still healthy. I forgot who they wrestled, but Adam was healthy. And then Wrestle Dream.
You're right, it was. It was, that's right. The point still stands. Like I think the Righteous absolutely should have beat MJF then and there. I don't think that's a situation where just because he's, going into a title match or whatever, he doesn't lose anything by losing a 2-on-1 handicap match to an established, very, very good tag team. Like, you don't lose anything in that.
And you could have even done, like, because MJF was still world champ, and if I remember, he didn't defend the world title on that show. If I remember, I don't think he did. So what you could have done is who did he wrestle? He wrestled Jay at Full Gear. So you could have had, like, Jay attack him to, like, cost him the win. That's what should have happened. Yeah, because the main event was Brian. Who did he wrestle? Zach? Was it Brian and Zach?
Yes. It was Brian and Zach. The main event was Christian Cage and Darby Allin for the TNT Championship because that was the Adam Copeland debut.
Yeah.
It was FTR against Aussie Open for the tag titles. The Don Callis family against Jericho, Omega, and Ibushi in a trios match. Yeah, I don't think that there was MJF defeated the Righteous in a 2-on-1 handicap match for the ROH World Tag Team Championship because we're not allowed to have nice things.
We're never allowed to have nice things. Do you see what show we're covering? We're covering Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but I'm getting to work with you and Auntie, so those are nice things.
This is very true. I love being here.
And I'm just going to keep the compliments rolling because that's just how I roll. That's just how I do. It's good times. We're all about the love here at Honor Ramble.
Yes.
This one, Vincent gets the pin on Gannon Jones with Autumn Sunshine. That assisted sliced bread. I think Kimmy already made that joke.
I did. I made it as soon as you said we were over 100. I said that we're
it
growing.
Made me sad then too. It made me sad then too, and it made me sad again when it came up here.
Oh my god, we really are.
Post-match, Archer hits the blackout on Victor Benjamin because, sure, why not? What the heck? Go for it, dude. Then an ad for Death Before Dishonor airs. As I said earlier, it is literally 4 weeks away. 4 weeks from tomorrow. We haven't announced anything.
No.
I don't even know, outside of maybe presuming that we're going to get Billy and Red Velvet and Athena and Queen Aminata. I mean, those are the closest thing to even presumptions that we have as to what could be on that card right now.
And possibly the Kingdom versus MXM.
The Kingdom presumably against someone. I still think the Infantry is the team to knock off the Kingdom at the end of the day. But
100% agreed.
But we can have some fun getting there. I'm not sure you don't do Kingdom knocking off or the Infantry knocking off the Kingdom at Death Before Dishonor. Because at this point, if they're just going to continue to be toadies and lackeys for Roderick Strong, then God, get the titles off of them. I love the Kingdom, but if that's what their role is going to be, get the titles off them now.
I really thought that they were going to extend the 2.0 feud out to DVD, and I thought that they were going to get the job done just because they were going to do the whole, like, oh, Angelo was going to quit, and now Angelo wants to fight for his son type deal. I thought that's where we were going to go. Clearly, we can't have nice things, and we can't book long-term stories. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they run it back. For all we know.
Don't hate it. I'd be on board. We haven't the foggiest clue who Mark Briscoe is going to fight because he's chasing the TNT title right now.
Remember, my favorite.
I get why you want Mark Briscoe in a ladder match.
Yes.
I 100% get that. Mark is going to do something completely insane.
Crazy.
But you have an entire roster full of people that will do insane things off a ladder. You do not need Mark Briscoe for that.
And my favorite part, when Mark came back on that Dynamite to qualify for the match, people were like, he's champ? What is he champ of? Wait, he's Ring of Honor champ? I didn't know he was Ring of Honor champ. Ring of Honor? And I was like, huh? What? I'm like, I need to get off Twitter. I don't know if Darby's cleared. I think they cleared him for Anarchy in the Arena because you can get away with not showing him the entire time in the match, and he didn't have to do a lot of work. But also you have to remember the last time we saw him on AEW television, he was hanging upside down for a little too long with Martha Hart in the building. So yeah.
That said, I really did appreciate that every time that they've tried to do a stunt like that they have talked to her and have informed them of like, hey, we want to do this thing. Let's not just presume that it's cool. And also we didn't raise up Darby that far, thank God.
Yeah.
It's, he was what, 5 feet, 6 feet off the mat, if that.
Yes.
To the point where, you don't hang him upside down for that long, but, nothing catastrophic is going to happen at that point. So smart on that. The big one was when they did Sting's retirement and he came down from the rafters there. That was one where I think Tony even said they reached out to Martha and said, we want to do this stunt. Would you have a problem with this?
And she completely understood, which was
she
really
was cool. Yeah. So in any event, Darby is probably being held together by scotch tape and bubble gum at this point, and
I do think they try to use him for blood and guts. I think maybe that's what they're waiting for, because Swerve still needs to build his team. That's also a month away. I think I don't know if it's the same week at DBD, maybe the week after. I can't remember, but I think they want to try to get Darby as healthy as possible for blood and guts. If I had to assume.
So we can put him on the shelf again.
Yeah.
Because he's going to jump off something or get thrown off something or God knows what.
Well, remember the first year where they had Jericho go through the pillow? They could have Darby do that, where he goes through. Oh, it is the same week?
July 24th, 2024. at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville.
Oh, wonderful. Let's take a bet. Do we think
Uh,
Mark Briscoe's also going to be in Blood and Guts?
that will also be my wedding anniversary. Good times there.
Oh, congratulations.
I know she's put up with me for this long, and I don't know why, but that's okay. I don't have to know why. I just have to reap the benefits. But I would hope that he's not going to be in Blood and Guts too, but
you should really watch. I think Blood and Guts would be a family affair. I think you should all watch it together, especially if Mark Briscoe's in it.
If Mark Briscoe's in it, I'm just going to be a sad panda. Just I do not. No. The only time that I feel like Mark Briscoe, a champion like Mark Briscoe, should be in a Blood and Guts match like that 2 days before defending the title is if you're taking the title off of him and you're making that part of the story.
Yeah, I could see that. I think the thing is, like, they have to replace FTR. So I could see Mark being like, I want to honor my friends who's always been there for me, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah.
Then here's what you do. You let him go do Blood and Guts, because waiting for him around the corner at Death Before Dishonor is Shane Taylor.
Oh, is that what you think's gonna happen?
I don't know. That's what I would do. If you're gonna put him there, then you have him just get the holy hell beaten out of him at Blood and Guts, because it's Mark. He bleeds like a stuck pig, and the whole 9 yards. And as he's and he gets to make this heroic sacrifice to honor his friends, and then he just gets like Act 1 Rocky 3'd. He just gets completely destroyed by Shane Taylor at Death Before Dishonor. And Shane goes on and has a badass dominant run as ROH World Champion that is long overdue.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I like that.
And then Mark can go back to being the underdog babyface that we all know and love.
Yes. Agreed.
There you go.
We just looked it for you, Tony.
TK DM me. I'll tell you where to send the checks.
Yes. What's next?
What's next is more women's action in a match that I actually wasn't sure who was going to win, which is a rare thing for this show. As Taya Valkyrie took on Trish Adora. This was, as it turns out, Trish has never beaten Taya one-on-one. They previously fought in AEW. Trish lost to Taya in Rampage in June of last year. She lost to Taya in MLW in October of 2022, and she lost to Taya for the Rhea Arenas title in Garden State Pro Wrestling in July of 2022.
Oh, wow.
So Taya appears to be the mountain that Trish Adora cannot climb.
I don't like that we're making Trish Adora like the woman sacrifice, like kind of what Sky Blue was when she first signed with AEW. That like you could always book Sky Blue against high profiled women on the roster, but she would always lose. I feel like we're doing the same thing here with Trish, and I don't like it because Trish is super talented, and she was here when Maria was revamping the women's division. She's been here from the beginning, and you're just making her a jobber. I don't get it. I understand like that you're putting Taya in kind of like a veteran type of position on Ring of Honor, but like this is not the way to go. Don't like this. Trish should have definitely advanced more than just the first round of that women's TV title tournament. I think we all complained about that collectively as a group of people. So yeah, I don't know. Like, is Taya even going to be on the DVD card? If she's not going to be, what was the point?
Is Trish even going to be on the DVD card?
Probably not.
Trish lost. I have in my notes. Remember when it seemed like Trish Adora had so much forward momentum?
Oh.
Regardless, she's coming off a loss to Harley Cameron 2 weeks ago, which, no disrespect to Harley necessarily. She's putting in the work. She's doing what she can, but Trish Adora should not be losing to Harley Cameron.
No. Not at all.
Like, I did enjoy this, though. I thought it was a solid little match. It could have gotten a little bit more time. I wouldn't have hated that. You could have given this closer to 10, and I would have thought that was wonderful. These two really kind of matched power, as Taya is a great powerhouse in the division with her veteran savvy, and Trish's power is definitely a little underrated, I would say. But these two definitely had a really fun match that I enjoyed watching. But hey, we got what we had to limit it to 6 minutes because we had 3 squashes to get into, and we had a runtime that was as long as we wanted to make it.
That's the thing with Honor Club. Like, there's no restriction. It's not like you're on TBS or TNT where you have to call Warner's to ask for an extension, like an overrun. This is your network. You own it. It would be the same thing if like they like moved over to HBO Max or whatever. Like, I just don't. I think Tony needs to realize in life
that
there's things that he can control. There's no pecking order. He is the pecking order.
That was mentioned as one of the advantages to. All right, before I go into that, I'm just going to point out we want to say hello and thank you to the entire 193 live viewers with us right now. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for joining us. This is clearly because Kimmy is the draw.
They said this. When was I on the show last 2 weeks ago? They said this to me too. I was like, "It's not me. It's not me." Oh my god.
We're gonna see if we can see you're blushing through the camera. It's gonna be great. But no, thank you so much for being here with us. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube, on Twitch, at OLE Podcasts, on all our socials. We're gonna do this officially over 200 now. Love it. Make sure that you follow all our stuff here as we do this.
There's a ticker like underneath us.
There is all of the socially thingies. So do that. Follow all the sites. We got lots of great stuff. I don't know if I'm the draw. I am not. I am way too humble to say that. Point the other way.
I'm pointing to myself twice. It's him.
No, this is a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun on this show. We hope everybody's having a lot of fun joining us and watching us. Make sure that you subscribe. There's lots of great stuff on this show. Astrid and Ed do wonderful things with NXT every week. We have Ring Respect Radio that's on before us with our producer Bobby, who is a wonderful host. There's all sorts of awesome stuff going on, and Astrid is just, I can't say enough wonderful things about her. And
Great
Ed
human.
is also a person. And Ed is also a person who's here. No,
Listen, Astrid was on last week that she was on Fightful 2 weeks ago.
She was, and hopefully Ed knows that I'm just kidding with him. I've hosted with him as well. I love Ed too. The whole team at OLE is wonderful, and I'm very thankful to be a part of it. Getting
and I'm
back
here to wreak havoc on the OLE network.
We all do. We all wreak our own brand of havoc here. It's a lot of fun. Now there was a
promo that didn't make sense.
Yes, it's true.
I'm glad you can confirm you're a person. Love that.
All right, so now we have officially confirmed that Ed is not 3 children in a trench coat.
He's not a robot.
No. No, this was good stuff. Taya gets the win here, gets the pin on Trish Adora with Shania Payne, which is easily one of the best named finishers in the world right now. Hey, and Doc Chris Muller from Bleacher Report is here in the chat with us. So thank you, Doc, for being here.
Oh my God,
Love
hi,
having you here.
Chris.
Oh my goodness. He took time out of his busy schedule of talking about hobbits and cooking and whatever else to join us here.
Well, listen, the pay-per-view this weekend, it is on Bleacher Report. So now I'm going to be there live, but if anyone's going to order it off Bleacher Report, we all know, blame him. He's the one you have to tweet at if you're having Bleacher Report issues.
See, this all started with friend of the show, Kate Elizabeth, and that bit is just going to continue on until the heat death of the universe. Oh, goodness. Now, this was fun. Taya picks up the win here. Presumably, we're going into... hopefully, we're starting to position her toward title contention.
That's a bold statement.
Oh.
Bold. Very bold.
And yet she continues to get away with it. It's a heck of a thing. Now, I'm hopeful that this means that Taya is being built towards something, because I think Taya makes a really interesting challenger because of the power that she brings into things, because of potentially having Johnny at ringside, that whole shtick that they've got going on. That act is a lot of fun. I think it works in Ring of Honor. I think it adds a little bit of levity and fun to a promotion that is sorely in need of it. It's why I like having the Outrunners here. It's why I like having Dalton Castle here. It's like, okay, some personality and some pizzazz, some flash to go with all that, which is great. But
they're also all TV ready.
Yes.
TV ready.
Well, TV is Taya's initials. I mean, she's absolutely there.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like they could say they're TV ready, but none of them are like challenging for the TV title. So I'm like, what is the point of saying you're TV ready if you're not going after TV title?
To be fair, no one has challenged for the women's TV title at this point. So there's
technically Red Velvet has.
Has she officially laid down the challenge yet? Like an interview?
Like whenever her last match was last week, 2 weeks ago, don't remember. But I think she was like, "I'm coming after your gold, Billy. I'm calling you out."
I think there was something. Yeah, that's fair. I meant in the ring. There has not been a match for the women's TV title yet since it was decided.
No,
but yes.
They don't like us.
No. So Taya picks up the win here. We'll see if that actually turns into anything for her or not. We go backstage again with Layla Hirsch is back with Arcady. And she says that she got the win over Diamante. Arcady asks how she's feeling after the attack post-match, and Layla sort of says, I don't blame her for being upset because she can't beat me. So, of course, Diamante interrupts, says, yeah, those were wrestling matches. And they don't remember, and they might not remember that you won, but they remember that I laid you out. And
I didn't remember that she laid her out, to be honest with you.
Well, that's because of all the rage blackouts at this point by watching the show. But
that's true.
So instead, the next time she doesn't want a wrestling match, she wants a fight. And Layla says, "Now you're talking my language." Says next time they meet in the ring, it'll be no holds barred.
See,
and
other thing
whether that's on TV or whether that's for Death Before Dishonor, we don't know. But apparently, that's going to happen.
But like the other thing too is like she mentioned that Layla is 4-0 against Diamante. So what is the point of having this match if she's 4-0 against her?
You know what? Sometimes people don't know when to quit.
But Layla's gonna win again.
Well, yes.
So like, why? Technically,
I don't know. I mean, if you want, you can bring in Mercedes Martinez since it's no holds barred. Have her interfere. Have Diamante pick up the win, and then
bring in Rachel again. Set up a tag match. Diamante advanced in the TV tournament. She defeated Kiera Hogan to get to the second round in what I considered an upset in the tournament. There were many upsets, to be fair.
Well, I was upset at the ending, but that's neither here nor there.
I was upset about the whole tournament. Let's be real.
So yes, and there you go. Like bring back Rachel Ellering. There's your tag match. There's another feud. There's non-title based feuds that you can do that can position people, and you can tell those stories. And there you go, done. Like we had Layla teaming with Lady Frost on Dynamite
Collision.
Rampage Collision.
Collision.
I don't remember Collision. Okay, we had Layla teaming with Lady Frost on Collision, and I'm sitting there going, okay, but why not Rachel? That was a thing that you established. That was a thing that you established as a thing. You didn't break them up. You didn't have a backstage vignette where they said, okay, let's go our separate ways, shake and be done. Nope. But and Rachel's back. She had a match on ROH, a loss to Sky Blue a few weeks ago. So it's not like she's on the shelf.
And
there's literally nothing keeping you from this.
And like when they did those those endless trio 6-woman tags, I'm pretty sure that every time Lady and Layla were on separate sides. I don't think they ever teamed together once. Oh, Chris. No, she has a tag partner.
It's true, and when there's no reason why we're not using her. So that's okay. But we're gonna have a no holds barred match between Layla Hirsch and Diamante. So great. And I like Lady Frost. That is not to be taken as I don't like her or I don't want her on my television. But like, why are you here for this specific instance?
You know what I need? Now that Sean reported today that Glacier is like hired as a coach, I need Glacier and Lady Frost in a segment backstage. I don't know how we get there. Don't know what we do in it. I just need it to happen.
As soon as you name dropped Glacier, I instantly knew where that was going.
But don't you agree?
Absolutely. Hard yes.
Nyla tweeted today that she wanted full credit, that she was the reason that they hired Glacier to stop the heat wave going on so he could make everything cooler again and it wouldn't be like 100 million degrees backstage.
Yeah, but you've just confirmed that Glacier's coming on board just in time for Beach Blast or Beach Break or whatever it's called now.
That is all. I mean, to be fair, they had Beach Break in Cleveland in February. Do you remember this? In the snow?
I do. And absolutely, yes.
They had Ricky Starks and Hobbs in heavy ass winter jackets.
Yes.
It's like, what is happening here?
Yeah, that was great. Oh gosh. We're almost there. We're in our second to last match. Yes. And we've already gone longer than the show. So
Heat Wave for 0.2 seconds, because someone on the media call asked today if Tony Khan takes credit for NXT NA because he was the first one to do like interpromotional things, and I was like, deep down, Tony wants to say yes. I know that, man. He wants to be like, yes, it was me. It was all me.
Also, he's not the first to do interpromotional stuff.
Ring of Honor was first.
I mean, if you want, technically WWE was doing interpromotional stuff and had Tiger Mask holding a light heavyweight championship for them back in the early to mid 80s.
I wasn't alive.
I know, and you wouldn't be for quite some time.
I've heard of the territory days, Bobby. I wasn't alive for that either, but I was there. I heard of it. Dark Side of the Ring. They had the final episode of this season was all about Black Saturday. I learned so much.
There you go. Yeah, and WWE had the whole NWA invasion angle in the late 90s with Dan Severn as the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion and Jeff Jarrett as the North American Champion when Jeff had the long hair and worked with like a faux singlet looking thing, sort of like what MVP used to wear, like that type of cut at least. But yeah, WCW and New Japan, they did Collision in Korea.
Oh,
so yeah,
they did a Dark Side of the Ring episode on that too.
Yes, they did. They had Ric Flair and Tatsumi Fujinami.
Yes. Guys, I'm
That
I'm not agreeing with the question. I am just saying what Tony, I know what Tony wanted to say.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But we're all a bunch of pedants here, so you know. That and of course there was the AWA Super Clash show. I believe it was Super Clash 3 from back in the late 80s, where it was also a crossover with World Class
I
and
was there for that, Chris.
and
He wrestled Tyler
and CWA
Breeze.
out of Memphis.
He wrestled
Yes.
Tyler Breeze on the first NXT pay-per-view in Brooklyn. I was there.
Yeah,
That was a good match.
and
I
and
am educated by Dark Side. Correct. And who killed WCW? That's my
yes.
education.
And
Screw
of course
college.
I'm name dropping like AWA Super Clash, which was a crossover show with World Class and CWA out of Memphis, where because the 6 people that watched that and one promoter basically ran away with the entire gate and stiffed everybody else, and
Oh
it
my
was a whole thing.
That sounds
Uh,
like most promoters in 2024. What's the difference?
also yes. The difference is basically the amount of money over that time and slightly better fashion.
I love that. That's great.
So in our
Billy Starks.
in our semi-main event, we have Billy Starks taking on Angelica Risk. First time, and what was a first-time match? And Billy immediately goes to a short joke as she tries to look for where Angelica is, because Billy's about a head taller than Angelica Risk. So I thought we had an interesting. I'm 6'3". I wouldn't know.
I'm 5'1.5". And yes, the half matters.
Oh, this is like when I got to see Haley at SummerSlam a couple like last year, and she's also itty bitty like that. It's like, oh
yeah, I believe we're the same height.
Oh, that was fun. But no, Billy gets in the ring with Angelica Risk here. Risk's last appearance in ROH was a loss to Marina Shafir way back in episode 27 in August of 2023. She did also lose to Athena on episode 10 in another Proving Ground match. So it's been a hot second since we've seen her in ROH. And that said, I thought we had an interesting the makings of an interesting idea, as Caprice and Ian talked about noticing Billy holding herself a little differently before this thing got started. Like, she didn't seem to quite have the swagger that she'd had in the past. You know, it felt like that they were trying to posit that it looked like she was acting differently because of the fact that Athena was hurt.
Yeah, I think that she's trying to take I think this is how we're gonna get the rekindling of this feud, is that Billy's gonna be like, well, I'm the minion overlord, you were hurt. I have to protect MIT, yada yada, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, I could see them doing that. I think that Billy has really embraced this heel role. I was a little nervous when she first started doing it, because I think in the indies I believe she's always been kind of like a baby face. So I didn't know how much she was gonna like get into it, but I think she's doing a great job. I wish Tony would take her title a little bit more seriously. But yeah, thank you for the third squash match of the night.
Good stuff there. Yeah, but as much as they tried to talk about how there was a different vibe around Billy because of the situation with Athena, once the bell rang, you didn't really seem to notice a difference. It was the same super aggressive, going at, dishing it out on her opponent. I had a couple of fun ones here. Like, we had Angelica Riska down on the outside, and Billy hits a low drop kick into the guardrail on her, and tells Athena that one was for you, boss, and like blows kisses to the camera about how she's dedicating this to Athena, to her minion overlord. And like, it was what it was. It was a squash. Billy counters a tornado DDT. finishes with that hammerlock stretch of hers that doesn't have a name. I'm weirdly annoyed by the fact that there's a fish hook in it, because that was always a thing that was supposed to be illegal, and the referee was supposed to start a 5 count on those, and that's not happening. So it's pro wrestling, and it part of it should be it's pro wrestling, who cares? But there's a part of me that's very annoyed that's like, that is not supposed to be a thing.
No.
Like, it's your universe, and you can, shape the rules and mold the rules however you want. But like, everything I've always ever understood about it is that's not supposed to be a thing. And it bothers me.
Just like everything else on this show bothers us.
So how'd you feel about it, though? How'd you feel? Do you have anything about this squash? Any fun notes? Anything that you noticed?
Nope. At this point, I was mad that we had 3 squashes. I was like, I'm like, wake me up when Mark and Kyle start. I'm gonna sit this one out, brother. This doesn't work for me, brother. It doesn't work for me.
Well, good news. Mark and Kyle is next. So there's that. But before that, we have a rundown of Forbidden Door, which is this Sunday on pay-per-view, don't you know?
Oh, I do, because I'll be there. Live and in stereo.
I've heard. I'm not jealous at all. It's okay.
Listen, there's for the 15th time that they're gonna tell you that you can buy the pay-per-view if you cannot make it out to New York.
I can. I'm already making plans with a couple of friends, and we're gonna do it upright. But nevertheless, I'm still holding out hope that I might be able to get to All Out this year. We'll see. I'm still holding out. I'm holding out hope for All Out, because that used to be on a weekend that I would travel for work every year. I would always have to travel on Labor Day weekend. And with Tony pushing it up a couple of weeks this year because of All In and everything else, or because of maybe so it's possible that one actually works out for me this year, which would be super, super nice. But we're gonna continue to try to manifest that, because there's a whole lot of people that I'm gonna need to see and meet and whatever else and network with and all that jazz. But nevertheless. We have a rundown of Forbidden Door. It's this Sunday on pay-per-view. There is one Ring of Honor person involved at all, and it's Mark Briscoe going for another company's secondary title. Tony would love to have ROH more involved. It's a shame that he can't get in touch with the booker to make that happen.
And he puts on great Honor Club matches. Great Honor Club matches this man puts on.
To be fair, we are about to see a pretty darn good TV main event here. This
is true. The one thing he did right on this week's episode. Tune in next week where we talk about the other one good thing he does on next week's episode.
Yes. That said, this was just for Mark's title. This was not a title for title situation. And I even double checked with a couple of my other peeps online on Twitter about who know ROH well, and
exactly.
There you go.
70 episodes up and running, one-hit wonders. Let's go.
Oh man, like, I could. I'm trying to think of any one-hit wonders that I could name drop that young people would actually know. So I don't know. So I'll go with this story. I do listen to a Beatles station on my satellite radio in my car. My kids like to listen to it too, and there's a show on that channel that is hosted by Randy and Tal Bachman. Randy Bachman played with Bachman Turner Overdrive. He played with the Ringo Starr's All-Star Band. He played with a whole bunch of different bands back in the 70s and 80s. And his son Tal had like one big hit in the late 90s called She's So High. And anyway, the Wallflowers had more than one. Okay. Anyway, so like I had to explain to my kids, like, okay, who is this Tal guy? Like, why Well, he had one song that was really, really big when your dad was a senior in high school. So,
Hey, that
and they're
makes or
like,
breaks a career, though.
and they're like, great, I still don't care. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Anyway. Okay, that was a weird departure. So we really didn't need to go down that road, but that's okay. It's what we do on this show.
Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, unless I was forgetting, I had to check with some of my people that unless I was forgetting a show, Chumbawamba, tub thumping. Unless I was forgetting, the last time the ROH World TV Champion fought the ROH World Champion, it was TV Champion Jay Lethal defeating World Champion Jay Briscoe at Best in the World 2015, with both titles on the line. I had checked with a couple of other people, and we're all kind of in agreement. We're both pretty sure that was the last time it happened.
That's insane.
And in this case, both sides are like, well, you don't generally do that with your top two champions. Most promotions don't.
Unless you're in WWE and you do it like every other year.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, this is a great idea. Oh, wait, we booked ourselves in a corner. Oh, man.
This was totally preventable. Oh, but then we're going to do it again next year. Oh, it's okay. But yeah, this was not both titles on the line. It was just Mark's title on the line here. Really good stuff here. Great matches expected with these two. Lots of fun stuff. Both of them taking risks, flying high. Mark busts out the cactus bang bang elbow. All sorts of fun stuff here. What did you have from this match?
So besides the fact that I didn't like that we had to wait 2 months to see this man on Ring of Honor TV and he's our champ, I thought this was good. I would have rather. So the whole reason this match happened, the one storyline thing that they did was that Kyle pinned Mark. I think it was 2 weeks to go on Dynamite, something like that, which got him this title shot. I don't like title for title. I think, especially on a company where we can't even get all our champs on the show, this is not the way to get all your champs on the show. To me, this is lazy booking. But you could argue that's 95% of what this company does. But besides that, this was good. It was a fun way to end it. I think the crowd was really into it. I think Kyle, since winning the TV title, has really blossomed into this amazing singles competitor. I feel like we've always kind of just aligned him with Aussie Open and Mark Davis. And when he started, Mark Davis is obviously injured. And when he was going on a single run, I was kind of like, how good could this really be? And I feel like he gets it. I think he can be a future world champ, not in Ring of Honor. I think he can move to AEW. He's on there a hell of a lot more frequently than he is in Ring of Honor. So I would love to see that down the line. But yeah, this was a fun main event that we could have waited till the pay-per-view, but not. And we ended episode 70.
Well, hey, you know what? I want both titles defended on the pay-per-view. And if we turn this into a pay-per-view title match, then that takes the TV title out of contention, which I don't like to see either.
This is very true.
I had let's see, what else do I have? I loved the near fall that Kyle got countering the flying head scissors into that spinning tombstone. Great near fall there, especially because he's beaten Mark with a pile driver before. And not only the entire building, but you had Ian and Caprice also buy the near fall after the Spicoli driver up into Froggy Bow, and like Caprice even dropped his "That's it," and basically he dropped his "That's it, it's over, I guarantee it" line, whatever you want to. I forget the actual phrasing that he uses, but Caprice dropped that line, "It's over, I can promise you that," and nope, 2 count. And just, oh man, the crowd was just fully in at that point.
Which is crazy because usually we're complaining that the crowd is not into it because there's only like 150 people there, but all 150 of them were into this main event.
Yes, and it's clearly Kate. It's Kate's doing because she was there.
That's what I'm saying. It's Kate. Kate just needs to go to every Ring of Honor taping.
Hey, you know what? Get her on the payroll, Tony, and get her to each taping, and we'll just continue to do this. Just start doling out the money to all of us 12 ROH podcasters and vloggers. We know our stuff. Get us on the road crew. We'll make this happen for you.
And you won't even have to worry about this company ever again.
Nope, we got you. We got you. Now Mark hits the J Driller, picks up the win here. Great TV main event. I was hopeful that at some point as Mark continued to celebrate in the ring, I was, come on, somebody, please. Like, I didn't read spoilers, so I didn't know for sure, but I'm begging somebody to come out and stare down. Like, give me something. We're 4 weeks away from the pay-per-view. And anybody that you say could challenge Mark Briscoe for the ROH World title at Death Before Dishonor would be just as good as picking a name out of a hat at this point. It would be the same thing.
Which they're probably going to do anyway. Let's be real. They are going to pick a name out of the hat.
Although oh gosh, I'd be okay with that. That was one of my favorite silly things that Chikara used to do back in the day, where they not quite like that, but they would do a bit where a tag partner would have to miss the booking or something like that, or for some odd reason, and they would bring out the hat and they would pick a random name to be somebody's tag partner or somebody's opponent in a match or something like that. And inevitably, the first two names that they would draw would be just completely insane, ridiculous names that are either long retired or dead or.
Oh, trust me, Jericho's not showing up on Ring of Honor. As long as Jericho and Saraya don't show up at Ring of Honor, we're okay.
But yeah, Chikara would used to do this, where they would draw names out of the hat, and inevitably the first two names would be just absurd nonsense. They'd be retired or dead or God knows what, or like, and then the third name would be the actual cool one that everyone would get excited about. But it was such a ridiculous bit, and it was always so much fun. But that fun was a lot of Chikara anyway. So that's. I keep debating doing a podcast or starting one at some point where I would go through and rewatch Chikara with somebody, and I feel like that would be a lot of fun. But
no way!
My goodness, love that! Thank you, everybody. I don't know why. Thank you for staying with us for an hour and 40 minutes of utter nonsense. This has been a lot of fun. So yeah, Mark gets the win. We do not have a potential challenger. We might draw a name out of a hat. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe Forbidden Door sets up something.
Maybe.
I don't hate that idea.
It'd
be something.
It makes sense if Mark was in the ladder match then, if that's what the plan is. It's probably not. I think also, too, the Allentown Ring of Honor taping was technically split in two because Yuta was on the taping.
Yes,
that means
I did hear that as well.
So even next week we don't get Mark.
Nope. That said, it was a fun show, all things considered. At least a fun main event, if nothing else. There was enough stuff to enjoy that it got me through. And with that, Ian wished us happy wrestling, and we were out for the night. Going through the numbers, I have I had it somewhere. I had 6 matches total. Total match time of 41:01. The total run time of the show was 1:07:07. So that meant that 61.1% of the show was spent in ring, bell to bell.
No, they do not have hold on, Kyle. No, they do not have a mystery challenger. The last TBD gets filled tomorrow on Rampage.
Yes, it is El Phantasmo versus AR Fox. El Phantasmo versus AR Fox for the last spot. But yes, Total showtime 107.07, total match time 41.01 for a 61.1% percentage, which is pretty solid for this show, about what you'd expect. It's been hovering around that 60% mark. That seems to be about where it's settled. Average match time buoyed by that 13-minute main event was 6 minutes and 50 seconds today.
Oh, my heart.
And I don't like the squash matches either, but I will defend it in the sense that even in the HD net era, they absolutely had those squashes. Those were absolutely still a thing. That's how Orange Cassidy made his ROH debut. Before he became the King of Sloth style, he was in ROH just as a generic enhancement talent with the same name as Orange Cassidy, getting slaughtered by guys like I want to say he fought Kyle O'Reilly during one of the HDNet tapings, but I could be off on that. I have to double check. But in any event, he was on the HDNet ROH. That was a thing.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was one of the enhancement talents in the HDNet era. So those are all still things. All things considered, I enjoyed the show immensely. I'm going to assume that is for Kyle Fletcher, not for me.
No, I'm going to assume it's for you and not Kyle Fletcher, because Kyle made his return to this show tonight.
Also, well, technically Kyle Fletcher did too. Oh, I just made myself sad. No,
I was putting you over.
He just had the 2 out of 3 falls match a couple weeks ago. I can't even say that. That's not even right.
Last week? That was last week.
Yeah. Yes. Along with 310 live viewers right now. Love it. You guys are the best. Thank you for hanging out. That is much more specific and much harder to deny.
See, I told you.
Oh my goodness. So it is now after midnight here on the East Coast. We have been going for 148 on a show that lasted 107. So that being said, did you have any other final thoughts, or would you like to just go right into your plugs, Kimmy?
No, I just, we get the Pure title back next week. I'm assuming that means what is my opinion on Forbidden Door? Is that what that's
No. Oh no.
I'm so confused.
There's a very correct answer to this question.
But I don't know what that is. I'm confused.
Frodo is the main character of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
I don't watch Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you're gonna have heat with Doc now.
No, I can't have heat with Doc. Every time I go on his Twitter and he tweets all of his food pictures, I instantly get so freaking hungry. I get like jealous, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
The correct answer is that Frodo is a bitch.
We blocked and reported. Wait, Joel Pearl said he was gonna do the same thing to me because I was posting my Aruba pictures.
See, Ed's got the right idea. Frodo is not the main character. He's just the whiny guy who carries the ring. Frodo is a bitch. Okay, there we go.
Now I know now. Okay, we don't like Frodo. I got it.
There you go. You're in. That's all you need. That's all you need. That's you know the correct answer now, so you're good to go.
Unfollowed, but I'm so close to 1.5K. I'm at like 4.470, like 1,470. I'm like 30 away. I want to hit 1.5 by my birthday, which is in 2 months. I'll be here for my birthday, Kyle. Me and Collins are having a birthday stream on my birthday on August 15th because her birthday's a couple days later.
There you go. Love it. Love it.
We're having a Ring of Honor birthday stream on Honor Ramble August 15th.
Hey, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm very on board with this plan.
Well, good. You're invited to the birthday.
Sam's the real Carrie. There you go.
Who is Sam?
Awesome.
August 10th. Hell yeah, Leo energy.
My son's birthday is right in there as well. Oh gosh.
Chris, I got your Twitter notification on my watch. He just tweeted everybody bullying me into watching Lord of the Rings. I feel like I'm gonna get where can I watch Lord of the Rings though? Is it on like HBO Max? What streaming channel is it on?
I'm pretty sure it's streaming on Max.
I have that. I have HBO Max.
I don't know. I don't know. I have all.
It's
I have
on
it all on
Max.
DVD and Blu-ray.
In all
There you
caps,
go.
it's on Max. Okay. I'll
Well,
think about it.
Max might be stylized that way in all caps, but I don't remember. I'm not super familiar with their marketing materials, but so yes, now you know the correct answer to the very important Frodo question. We are going to. I don't think that it did.
I was
don't think
born in
that's correct.
2001.
The book series definitely did, because the books came out years before. The Lord of the Rings trilogy came out the first one came out in 2001. The Fellowship of the Ring came out in 2001. The release date was, you were born December 19th, 2021 in the United States.
Yep. I was born. What if I have like the wrong opinion about everything else and Chris just judges me? So I'm scared of.
How long have you been on the internet?
This is true. Oh, I guess I'm booked for a new OLE program. Cool. I might be here for Money in the Bank too. The Money in the Bank post show. I might be here for that.
Well, welcome to the family then.
Thank you.
This isn't like a fake family like Matt Camp said about WWE. This is a real family.
Oh my god, I saw that. I was like, what?
There we go. Okay. In any event, that's very magnanimous of Doc there for giving you wrong opinions. So this has been awesome. Thank you to the over 300 plus folks who watched with us tonight. This has been super, super cool. Kimmy, thank you so much for being here. Why don't you tell the wonderful people where they can find you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for over 300 people. We definitely drew more than Ring of Honor did tonight. Let's be real. Hell yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at Kimmy_Sokol. Like I said, I'm pretty close to 1.5K. I want to hit that by my birthday. And you can follow me on Instagram at Kimmy.Sokol. I don't know why I just didn't make it the same username. I like to make things difficult for myself. You can read my Ring of Honor reviews weekly on PW Insider, but like I've said throughout the show, I will be at Forbidden Door this weekend. So if you want to see all of my coverage, please go to the Pop Break on Twitter to see all my live tweets, and then you could see my the media call highlights. You could see I do my predictions with my editor. That should be up tomorrow. And anything else, I do a bunch of wrestling stuff on there, so go check that out. And then the other cool thing I do, in case you guys are new to me, is I work the convention scene a lot. So July 13th and 14th, I'll be working with Mick Foley at Contropolis, New Jersey. And then if for all my friends coming to Cleveland, if you're looking for something to do before you go to Friday Night SmackDown, you're looking for something to do before you go to SummerSlam, I will tell you exactly where to go. You want to go to Destination WrestleCon Cleveland. That is where you want to go, because so many talent are going to be there. We got Sting, we got Trish, we got Lita, we got the Garcia twins, Jinder Mahal, Candice Michelle, Haku, and so many more. Head to WrestleCon.com to get your tickets. I will be there. I know so many other people are going to be there. So hopefully if you're in Cleveland, you say hi. And thank you so much for everyone, OLE, for letting me take this channel hostage from time to time.
Very, very nice. And that's actually a much nicer response. And that's actually a much nicer conclusion to that sentence of, I'm going to tell you where to go.
Listen,
that could have gone in a completely different direction.
Listen, I'm just saying, I've never been to Cleveland. I've heard there's nothing to do there. So maybe you're bored on Friday before going to SmackDown. Maybe you're looking for something to do before you head over to SummerSlam. We're entertaining you.
It's been a few years since I've been to Cleveland, but I was also there with my kids and the whole family, so it's not quite the same as the kind of debauchery that some of wrestling media and the other assorted fans will likely get in before a major event. So I can't speak to that as much, but it was decent enough.
I hope so.
If you're resourceful enough, you can always find things to do in almost any place. And obviously, yes, if I was going to be in Cleveland, WrestleCon would be very high on my list of priorities.
Woohoo!
Uh,
Yes, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's there. I actually did a promotional video for WrestleCon Cleveland. I will repost it after this. And I pulled out of a box all these Cleveland-like things, and one of them is guitar picks for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Then I did like
well,
a snow globe, a Christmas snow globe for the Christmas Story house is there. There's apparently ghost walks. There's a zoo. There's like gardens there. I was very creative.
I mean, you can go. You can also go to YouTube and watch the hastily made Cleveland tourism video, which is they've made 2 or 3 of those now, which is a whole lot of. It's very much a parody music video of like how great Cleveland is, and it's just shots of like unhoused persons and like pollution and ugly river shots and like ugly and abandoned industrial buildings, and it's like the meanest parody thing, and it's hilarious. And it ends with the tagline of Cleveland, at least we're not Detroit.
I've never been there either.
Yeah, I'm from Michigan, so I very much have. I've dated several people from the Detroit suburbs, and yeah.
Aww.
Detroit is trying very hard. They're putting a lot of effort into Detroit to make it more tourism friendly, walking friendly. It was SummerSlam down there was great last year. I'm sure it'll be wonderful in Cleveland as well. But in any event, we should probably get to the point of where I'm telling you how to find me, as though there might be people who want to do that. In the event that you do, you can find me at Kyle K. Sparks on Twitter. I have the same handle on Instagram and TikTok, but don't bother me on either of those places. I'm barely ever there. You can follow me and then enjoy as no content comes out from me. So wonderful. Good for you there. The bulk of everything's going to be on my Twitter at Kyle K. Sparks. That's where I live tweet shows. That's where I announce what podcasts I'm going to be appearing on. That's where I promote this one. That's where I share and promote all of my friends' stuff. All those good things. Anything that I'm doing is going to be there. It's where I share my writing for bodyslam.net. I post ROH results there. So those are up right now as well. That's basically it for me. Give me a follow on Twitter. I'm only at about 730 followers right now. My following is about half the size of Kimmy's. So that's why I say that you're the draw.
No, it's you. It's both of us.
In any event, yeah, give me a follow there if you so choose. I like to think I'm occasionally witty and clever and fun. And hey, Kimmy says she learns things from me. So there you go. That's a ringing endorsement if ever I've heard one. That said, we are on OLE podcasts. There were over 300 of you live in the show with us tonight. So absolutely check out OLE podcasts while you are here. Follow on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, all the socially things. Go check out our local establishment. We've got it on the crawl down there. Make sure that you give a thumbs up, like, and subscribe this video. Share it. Tell your friends. We have a lot of fun on this show. If you're watching us live, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us through all of this nonsense. And
No,
I saw that in the chat. I saw your reaction, and I instantly knew what it was in reference to.
That's horrible.
And I was really on a roll in those plugs, and it just completely derailed me.
That's not my fault.
Like and subscribe this, share it with your friends. If you're watching us live, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us through all our rambling and nonsense. If you're watching us after the fact or listening to us after the fact, thank you again. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe anyway. We're glad that you're here. Join us live sometime. We have a lot of fun. So all that being said, for Kimmy, I'm Kyle. For OLE Podcasts, this is Honor Ramble. Thanks for joining. Happy wrestling, everybody.